Everybody's got a story. Everybody's been through something. You think you're the only one who's been hurt. You think you're the only one who's lost someone, who's been betrayed, who's been broke, hungry, lonely, and forgotten. No, you're not. I have a sad story too. In fact, I have more than one. I've been crushed. I've been laughed at. I've been told I'm not enough. I've been knocked down so hard that I didn't even know if I'd get up. But here's the truth. No one cares. That's the part nobody tells you. No one is sitting around feeling sorry for you. No one's waking up thinking, I wonder how they're doing today. Let me go save them. No. The world is moving. The clock is ticking. The sun is going to rise tomorrow. Whether you're winning or losing, whether you're smiling or crying. So you've got a choice. Stay down or get up and work harder. We live in a world where people want sympathy more than they want success. They want likes more than they want discipline. They want applause more than they want progress. But sympathy doesn't pay bills. Likes don't change your life. Applause fades the second you turn your back. What lasts is what you build when no one's watching. What lasts is the discipline to keep moving when your heart is breaking. You've got to understand, nobody is going to hand you your dream. Nobody is going to feel bad enough for you to carry you to the finish line. This is your fight. This is your life. And the only person who can change it is you. I used to think telling people my story would make them understand. I thought if they knew what I'd been through, maybe they'd treat me differently. Maybe they'd help. Maybe they'd believe in me. But all it got me was a pat on the back and, "That's tough, man." And then they went back to living their lives. That's when I realized, your story might inspire someone for a moment, but it won't make them carry your weight. It won't make them do your push-ups. It won't make them run your miles. You still have to do it yourself. So stop trying to make people understand. Stop trying to get their approval. Take all that energy and put it into work. Work harder than you've ever worked before. Let your results tell your story. You think champions don't have sad stories? You think warriors haven't been broken? You think winners have had it easy? No. They've bled, they've cried, they've lost everything and had to rebuild from nothing. The difference is, they didn't stop. They didn't use their pain as an excuse, they used it as fuel. Pain can either crush you or it can sharpen you. It can either break your spirit or it can harden your resolve. Which one it becomes is up to you. Every time life hits you, you've got two choices: stay on the ground or stand up stronger. People ask me, how do you stay motivated after everything you've been through? I tell them, motivation has nothing to do with it. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings fade. Discipline is what matters. Habits are what matter. You've got to train yourself to show up no matter what. Rain, shine, heartbreak, loss, it doesn't matter. You show up, you do the work, and you do it like your life depends on it, because it does. Every rep, every mile, every late night and early morning, that's the price, and you have to be willing to pay it every single day. Stop looking for easy, stop waiting for perfect, stop telling yourself you'll start when you feel better, when you have more time, when the pain goes away. That's a lie you tell yourself so you don't have to start now. The truth is, the pain might not go away for a long time. The time might never feel right. But if you keep waiting, life will pass you by. One day you'll look back and realize you wasted years waiting for someone to care, for someone to push you, for someone to save you, and no one ever came, because they weren't supposed to. That's your job. I have a sad story too. You've got one, your neighbor's got one, your boss has one, the stranger sitting next to you has one. The difference is, some people let their sad story define them, and others use it to light a fire so hot it burns every excuse to ashes. Which one are you? Because here's the thing, your sad story isn't unique. Pain is universal. Struggle is universal. You're not cursed, you're human. And if you stay trapped in your story, if you replay it over and over again like some broken record, all you'll ever hear is why you can't, instead of how you can. I remember nights lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every mistake, every betrayal, every loss. I thought the pain was the enemy, but pain is not the enemy. The real enemy is comfort. The real enemy is the part of you that wants to curl up, avoid the world, and wait for someone to feel sorry enough to pull you out. That part of you will kill your dreams faster than any setback ever could, because as long as you feed it, it will grow. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you've been sitting in the same place for years while everyone else kept moving. Nobody cares. I can't say that enough. Nobody cares that you didn't sleep last night. Nobody cares that you're tired. Nobody cares that your phone's full of bills and your fridge is empty. You can scream it from the rooftops, you can post about it every day, but at the end of the day, people will scroll past your pain like it's another headline. It's not cruelty, it's reality. Everyone's carrying their own load. And when you finally accept that, you stop expecting rescue. You stop waiting for applause. You stop needing approval. And you get to work. Work harder. Harder than you think is possible. Because here's the truth. The work you're doing right now, the effort you think is enough, is nowhere close. Your mind will lie to you. It will tell you you're working hard when you're coasting. It will tell you you've done enough when you've barely scratched the surface. It will whisper that you've earned a break when you haven't even hit your stride. You can't listen to that voice. You have to override it with action. You have to push past the point where you think you've got nothing left, because that's where the real growth starts. I've seen people with half your resources, half your opportunities, half your talent, and they're winning. Why? Because they refuse to stop. They refuse to make excuses. They refuse to let their story become a cage. And every day they put in the work, whether they felt like it or not. You've got to get to that level of obsession. You've got to wake up thinking about your goal and go to bed still chasing it. You've got to eat it, breathe it, bleed it. If you're not willing to do that, then you're not serious. There's a freedom in not caring if anyone understands. When you stop trying to be seen, you can put all your energy into becoming so good they can't ignore you. People won't ask you about your sad story anymore. They'll ask you how you did it, and your answer won't be a secret formula or a magic hack. It'll be the truth they don't want to hear. I worked harder than you can imagine. I refused to quit. I stopped waiting for help, and I helped myself. That's it. That's the whole recipe. I'm telling you now, you can turn your life around. You can write a comeback story so good, it'll make people forget you were ever down. But it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you your comfort, your excuses, your lazy mornings, your wasted nights. It's going to cost you your social life, your distractions, your short-term pleasures. And it's worth it. Every sacrifice is worth it when you're building something real. Every lonely night, every early morning, every moment you think you can't take another step. Worth it. Stop saying, one day. Stop saying, when things get better. Stop saying, I'll start when. Start now. Right where you are, with whatever you've got. Because the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. Life will never pause for you to catch up. You either move now or you get left behind. And when you start, go all in. Don't half-step. Don't tiptoe into it. Dive head first and don't look back. The people who make it in this world aren't the ones with the saddest stories or the easiest starts. They're the ones who refuse to stop moving forward. They're the ones who take the hits and keep coming. They're the ones who get knocked down and get back up faster every time. You can be one of those people. But you've got to decide. You've got to make the choice that your story won't end in pity. It'll end in victory. I have a sad story too. I could sit here and tell you every detail. The nights I couldn't sleep because the weight of the world was on my chest. The days I didn't eat because there was nothing to eat. The moments I thought about quitting everything. But here's what I know. Talking about it doesn't change it. Complaining about it doesn't fix it. Crying about it doesn't move me 1 inch closer to where I want to be. The only thing that changes anything is work. And not just regular work, hard work. Work that scares you. Work that pushes you. Work that makes you wonder if you can keep going. And then you keep going anyway. You can hide behind your story if you want to. You can wear it like a shield, telling yourself it's the reason you can't succeed. You can let it become your identity, the one who had it rough, the one who never caught a break, and maybe people will feel sorry for you for a while. They might give you a little attention, a little comfort, a little pat on the back, but it won't last, because sooner or later they'll get tired of hearing it. They'll have their own problems to deal with, and you'll be right back where you started, only now you've wasted time. The truth is, life is not fair. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your plans. It will hit you when you least expect it, and it won't apologize. And when it does, you've got two choices. Sit there and bleed, or get up and fight. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you do about it. You can control whether you let it destroy you or make you stronger. And that's why "no one cares" is not an insult. It's freedom. When you finally accept that no one's coming to save you, you stop waiting and start acting. Work harder. Push further. People think hard work is something you do until it gets uncomfortable. That's not hard work. That's barely scratching the surface. Hard work begins where comfort ends. Hard work is when your legs are shaking and your lungs are burning and your mind is screaming for you to stop and you take one more step anyway. Hard work is when you've been grinding for hours, days, months, years, with no applause, no recognition, and no reward yet, and you keep going because you believe in what you're building. Hard work is when you get up at 5 a.m., not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. That's the kind of work that changes lives. Your story might explain you, but it doesn't define you. You can have been through hell and still choose to rise. You can have been counted out and still win. You can have nothing in your pockets and still be rich in ambition. But only if you decide to move. Only if you decide that you're not going to be another sad story in someone's memory. Only if you decide that your pain will be the reason you win, not the reason you lose. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop searching for the magic answer. Stop thinking that if you find the right mentor, or the right partner, or the right break, everything will change. Here's the reality. Even if all of that showed up tomorrow, you wouldn't be ready for it if you haven't built yourself through the grind. The grind is where you earn it. The grind is where you prove to yourself that you can handle it. The grind is where you transform from someone who needs help into someone who can lead, inspire, and create. People like to say, it's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up. That's true. But let me add something. It's also about how fast you get back up. Don't sit there for weeks or months feeling sorry for yourself. Don't turn your pain into a vacation from responsibility. Get up now. Move now. Every second you waste is one you never get back. The ones who make it, the real ones, they've been through worse than you can imagine. They've been through nights with no hope, days with no progress, weeks with no light at the end of the tunnel, and they kept going. Not because it was easy, not because they weren't tired, not because they weren't hurting, but because they decided that quitting was not an option. You've got to make that same decision. You've got to tell yourself, no matter what, I'm not stopping. And then you've got to prove it every single day. I have a sad story too, but I don't live there anymore. I don't pitch a tent in the middle of my pain and call it home. I moved out. I left it behind. You've got to leave yours too. Stop decorating your misery. Stop polishing your excuses. Stop telling the world how hard it's been, and start showing them how strong you've become. Because if you're still living in your sad story, you're not living in your future. You're not living in your growth. You're just replaying the same old scene, while the rest of the world is filming new chapters. You've got two kinds of people in this world: those who make their problems their identity, and those who make their problems their reason to rise. One of them gets sympathy for a week, the other gets respect for a lifetime. Which one do you want to be? Because the truth is, nobody remembers the victim. They remember the survivor. They remember the fighter. They remember the one who wouldn't quit. Your sad story might make people feel sorry for you, but your comeback story will make them remember you forever. Nobody cares. I'll keep saying it until it clicks. The sooner you understand this, the sooner you stop waiting for someone to understand you. The sooner you stop expecting the world to bend for your circumstances. The sooner you stop wasting your energy on pity. The sooner you start winning. The truth is, people are busy fighting their own battles. They don't have time to fight yours for you. And you shouldn't want them to. Because when you fight your own battles, you become unbreakable. You earn every step forward, and nobody can take that from you. Work harder, and when you think you've worked as hard as you can, work harder again. Most people have no idea what hard actually is. Hard isn't one all-nighter. Hard isn't 1 week of discipline. Hard isn't going to the gym when you feel like it. Hard is years of showing up no matter what. Hard is putting in work when nobody's watching, nobody's cheering, and nobody even knows what you're doing. Hard is making progress so slow that it feels invisible, and still believing. Hard is sacrificing every comfort you thought you needed, because you decided your goal matters more. I've seen people quit one step away from the breakthrough. They couldn't see it, so they stopped. They thought the pain meant they were losing, but the pain was the proof they were close. That's why you can't listen to your feelings in the middle of the fight. Your feelings will lie to you. They'll tell you you've done enough. They'll tell you it's not worth it. They'll tell you to rest, just for today. And before you know it, today becomes a week, a month, a year. That's how dreams die. Not with one big failure, but with 1,000 tiny surrenders. Your story's not over. But if you want the ending to be different, you've got to write it differently. You can't keep doing what you've been doing and expect the plot to change. You've got to take the pen and rip it out of life's hands. You've got to start making decisions that scare you. You've got to start moving before you feel ready. You've got to stop letting fear make your choices, because fear doesn't care about your dreams. It only cares about keeping you in the same place. You want to know the difference between people who make it and people who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's the refusal to stop. It's the ability to keep going when every reason to quit is staring you in the face. It's waking up on the worst day of your life and still doing what you said you'd do. That's it. That's the whole difference. And the beautiful thing is, Anyone can do that, if they choose to. I have a sad story too. The difference is, I refuse to make it my address. I refuse to live there. You've got to stop letting your past forward your mail. Stop letting it tell you who you are. Your sad story is a chapter, not the whole book, and the pen is still in your hand. The problem is, too many people keep writing the same page over and over again. It's hard. It's unfair. I can't catch a break. Rip that page out. Burn it. Start a new one. And this time, fill it with action. You can't change the fact that you got hurt. You can't change the fact that people left you, lied to you, doubted you. But you can change what happens next. You can change whether you let that pain bury you or build you. You can change whether you let their doubt become your truth, or whether you use it as fuel. You can change whether you stay where you are or fight your way forward. And if you're waiting for someone to do it for you, you're going to be waiting forever. No one cares. And that's your advantage. Because when no one cares, you're free to take all the energy you've been wasting on hoping for rescue and put it into rescuing yourself. I've seen people climb out of holes so deep you'd think they'd need a ladder a mile long. But they didn't have a ladder. They had grit. They had persistence. They had the decision that, no matter how long it takes, I'm getting out. That's all it takes. Not a miracle, not luck, not a handout. Just a decision, backed up by relentless action. And the thing is, anyone can make that decision, but most won't. Because it's easier to be a victim than it is to be a fighter. It's easier to tell people why you can't than to prove that you can. Work harder. I don't care how hard you think you've been working, work harder. Most people stop at good enough, but good enough doesn't change your life. Good enough doesn't win. Good enough doesn't inspire anyone, not even you. You've got to push past that point where you think you've got nothing left, because that's where the growth happens. That's where the transformation happens. That's where you find out what you're really made of. And 9 times out of 10, you're made of more than you think. But you'll never find out if you stop at good enough. When you're chasing something big, there are going to be days when you feel invisible. Days when it seems like nobody notices how hard you're working. Days when you start wondering if it's worth it. Let me tell you, those are the days that count the most. Because anyone can work when the crowd is cheering. Anyone can work when the rewards are pouring in. But it takes a different kind of person to work when the room is empty, when the results are slow, when the only person who believes in you is you. That's the kind of person you need to be. Your story can be an anchor or it can be a sail. An anchor will hold you in the same place forever. A sail will catch the wind of your pain and push you forward faster than you've ever moved before. But you've got to decide which it's going to be. Nobody can make that choice for you. And the truth is, the people who care about you the most, even they can't make you move. They can want it for you, they can believe in you, but they can't put in the work for you. That's on you. You want to honor your pain? Outwork it. You want to give meaning to your struggle? Outlast it. You want to turn your sad story into a success story? Outfight it. Every day. Until one day, the pain that used to control you becomes the reason you're unbreakable. Until one day, the story that used to make people pity you becomes the story that makes them respect you. I have a sad story too. I could write it down, frame it, hang it on the wall, and point at it every time something goes wrong. I could wear it on my chest like a badge, so everyone knows what I've been through. But what would that do? Would it get me closer to my goal? Would it pay my bills? Would it put me where I want to be? No, it would just keep me stuck, staring at the past instead of moving toward the future. You've got to stop using your story as a shield from responsibility. You've got to stop using it as the reason you can't. Because the moment you start using it as the reason you must, everything changes. Your pain's proof you're still alive. And if you're alive, you can move, you can act, you can fight. But too many people treat pain like it's the end. They let it tell them, you've been through enough, you don't have to try anymore. That's a lie. Pain is not the finish line. Pain is the starting gun. Pain is what wakes you up, shakes you, and says, what are you going to do about it? And there are only two answers: nothing or everything. Nothing keeps you in the same place. Everything changes your life. Nobody cares. Not because they're cruel, but because they've got their own storms to survive. The people you think are ignoring you, they're just trying to make it through their own battles. And if they can keep moving through their problems, so can you. Stop waiting for someone to notice. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for the pain to go away. Start now. Start with whatever you have, even if it's not much. You'd be surprised how far you can go when you decide you're done waiting. Work harder. And I don't mean just doing more of the same. I mean pushing past what you think your limit is. You think you've given everything? You haven't. There's more in you. There's always more in you. But you won't find it by staying comfortable. You find it when you force yourself into places you don't want to go. When you do things you don't want to do. When you keep going long after you want to quit. That's where your next level is hiding. And the only way to get there is to outwork the version of you that wants to stop. You ever notice how the people with the biggest comebacks never stop talking about the grind? That's because the grind is where the transformation happens. Not in the big wins, not in the moments everyone sees, in the hours nobody notices, in the days when nothing seems to be working, in the mornings when you drag yourself out of bed because you said you would. That's where you build yourself into someone who can't be broken. I'll tell you something, people respect results, not reasons. You can give them 1,000 reasons why you couldn't make it happen, and they'll nod and move on. But when you show them results, when you show them you made it despite everything, they stop and listen. They want to know how, and the answer is always the same. I worked harder than the excuses. I worked harder than the fear. I worked harder than the pain. You've got to decide what you want more, comfort or progress. You can't have both. Comfort keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. Progress makes you grow, but it demands you leave your comfort behind. You can stay where you are, replaying your sad story, telling yourself you've done enough, or you can get up, get moving, and work like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. I have a sad story too. I know what it feels like to be so low, you can't even see the light. I know what it feels like to wonder if you'll ever get out. I know what it's like to wake up and feel like the day is already too heavy before it starts. And you know what I learned? Life doesn't slow down for you. The clock doesn't pause so you can catch your breath. The world doesn't rearrange itself to make your road easier. It just keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, you get left behind. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. You're not special because you're hurting. You're not unique because you've struggled. Pain is part of the entry fee to life. You don't get to skip it. Everyone pays. The difference is, some people let that pain bankrupt them, and others use it as capital to build something better. The question is, what are you building with yours? A wall to hide behind, or a foundation to stand on? Nobody cares. I mean it. Not your boss, not the internet, not the stranger walking past you. People have their own fights, their own burdens, their own quiet battles you'll never see. And that's not a bad thing. It means you don't have to perform your pain for anyone. You don't have to convince the world to understand you before you start. You just start. You get to work without waiting for applause, approval, or permission. You take responsibility for your own rescue. Work harder. And by harder, I mean until the line between I can't and I just did disappears. Too many people work until it's inconvenient, until it interferes with comfort, until it starts to hurt. That's not the edge. That's not even close. The edge is when your body and mind are screaming for you to stop, and you step forward anyway. The edge is where most people quit, and where you have to stay until it becomes your normal. You think champions only worked when it was easy? You think the greats only showed up when they felt good? No, they worked when they were sick. They worked when they were broke. They worked when they were alone. They worked when the world said it was pointless. And every rep, every step, every lonely hour stacked up until one day they looked around and realized they were no longer at the bottom. They were at the top. That's what you need to do. You can sit around waiting for motivation, or you can create discipline. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is a fire. Motivation fades when life gets heavy. Discipline is what keeps you moving when you're tired, when you're bored, when you're doubting yourself. And discipline isn't about feeling like it. It's about doing it regardless. If you can master that, you can outwork anybody. Here's a fact you need to tattoo in your brain. Results are louder than excuses. You can tell people your whole life story, every reason why it's been harder for you. Or you can show them what you've built despite all that. People respect the second one. People remember the second one. And the best part? You respect yourself for it because deep down, you already know whether you've been giving everything you have or just enough to get by. You want to change your life? Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop making deals where you say, I'll work hard unless I'm tired, unless I'm stressed, unless it's hard. Stop giving yourself an escape route. Burn the bridges. Make quitting impossible. The moment you decide that stopping is no longer an option, your work changes. Your focus changes. Your results change. So yeah, I have a sad story too, but it's just the prequel. The real story, the one I'm living right now, is about fighting back. It's about refusing to let the worst parts of my past decide the best parts of my future. It's about working harder than I thought possible. And you can write that story too. But you have to start today. You have to start now. And you have to work like no one's coming, because they aren't. If you're serious about changing your life, don't just watch. Take action. I just launched TGP University to personally coach you on mindset, self-development, business, and financial freedom. We do live Zoom calls every week, answer your questions, and give you the tools to level up for real. This is where the real growth happens. Link is in the pinned comment. Go join us now before you fall back into the old you.